Man.
Oh, whoa.
Wow. We are recording.
This is serious. This is number 3.
This is number 3. We should be recording the pre-records.
Yo, we just want to let y'all know we're gonna be real with y'all. We talk a little bit before, and the little bit before is kind of gay.
We done did, based on how much we talked today, we done did a whole other episode.
We did like 3 episodes already. Yo, that's my man AD.
Yo, this cat Datwon, Twazy up in this piece, man.
Yo, man, this is the King Crown Jewels podcast, episode 3.
Episode 3, man. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm thinking? I'm thinking it's inevitable that this one is going to be called Kingdom Come, man.
Ooh, yo, I want everybody to know this is a production, man. He be coming up with the titles and the whole thing. I come up with something doper.
Come on, man.
Him, because he's rocking. Yo, this is the Kingdom Come joint, and y'all gonna know if it's the Kingdom Come joint by the time you finish. That's all we got to say.
For sure.
By the time you finish, you're gonna be like, all right, we get why. But
for sure. For the first time, we actually gonna go ahead and really start getting into the paper. We're gonna start getting into the issues. We start with the preview issue. We're gonna make our way over to the preview issue. Mr. Cole Robinson over there.
Yo,
we still have some some gems to give you.
Yep.
Leading up into that, man. So last time we left off at Vibe, man. There's a lot of stuff went on at Vibe, man.
A lot.
It's like that's kind of where our family roots are. As much as we've had a great working relationship with Harris, and they've given us a lot of opportunity, just across the board. So many, just great, brands that we rock with over at Harris, man. It's like Vibe was really like that.
That was it.
Yeah,
that was it, man. I always go back to saying like Vibe was the foundation, and it's so crazy to be editor-in-chief. And this be my 3rd go round at Vibe, my 3rd and longest go round at Vibe.
We used to talk about that, dog.
Yeah, man, that's crazy.
Man, they holding us back. They holding us back because we got the girls with kids. Man, if we had Vibe though,
yo, we used to say that, yo. We used to say, yo, remember that?
It'd be different.
It'll be
different. But we didn't even realize. How much respect in the game we had.
Yeah.
We knew it, but at the same time, it just still seemed like there were, certain things that people would try to throw slick jabs.
No question, because Vibe at the time, and going out of the 90s into the 2000s, they were on top. They were the mainstream killers. They were the ones that were getting the ASME awards, and they had their own music awards, and it would on TV like real award shows, real people getting stabbed at them.
Oh man!
But it was real. It
was very real. It was very real, man. And then you got like that's Quincy, man. It's Quincy Jones.
And Quincy Jones, man, the great, that's the oracle right there. You think about somebody that's nice at everything. There's this rapper. I don't know who it is. I just heard it on the radio, and he said, I'm nice at everything like Chris Brown. when you think about it, Chris Brown do a lot of ill stuff, but nobody's iller at everything than Quincy Jones.
Right. Absolutely.
Quincy Jones is the man. He could do it all. And when he started Vibe, he knew what the foundation should be for the new Black American culture. And I think Russell kind of took from that and did what he did and tinted it with hip hop a lot more. And he did a lot of the same things as far as going into publishing and all that stuff. Puff did, of course, because he had his own magazine. Because Russell had One World,
Puff
having Notorious.
but both short lived though.
Yeah, man.
Both of those were very short lived.
Yeah, they were dope publications, but Vibe just set like that tone. And let's not forget the source, of course. I know we glancing over the source like the source wasn't there. The source was the one that opened the door. The
Right.
source opened the door. So, you know, Dave Mays and John Schechter and all of them, they opened the door, but Vibe did something different to the people. And I think it was a little bit more inclusive than
But
exclusive.
if we're gonna do that though, if we're gonna do that, and we don't have to spend a whole lot of time. We could brush over these, but come on, it's like when you do. Man, we spoke a little bit about Jet, but I mean, come on, Cynthia Horner, man.
Oh man,
Right On magazine, Black Beat
all the way,
magazine, man.
all the way.
Even Billboard magazine. Um, it was just like, dude, it was a lot, man. It was
It was a
a
lot.
lot of dope publications, man. That we used to thumb through.
Yep.
And it's like when you made it to the source and Vibe. I mean, they definitely took it to a whole other level. They put a lot of we would see pieces of what we liked in these other magazines, and the source was like, nah, this whole thing is gonna be that piece.
Right.
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 And then Vibe became okay, this whole thing is gonna be that piece.
And the source was a little edgier than our favorites of Word Up, Black Beat, and all of that. They were a little edgier because those were like fanzines that introduced you to the culture and you got to
Right.
understand who the people were. You knew their favorite everything. You know what I mean? And you took the posters out, you put them up on the
That was
wall.
the thing. That was the
You know,
thing.
I
Those
think the
posters,
source,
those vision boards. Yeah.
the vision boards. I think the source was like, yo, we're gonna go hang out with such and such. It was like almost reading Yo MTV Raps.
But you know what though? It's crazy. Damn, I don't even know. God damn, I've never thought about this. I'm thinking about it now. Like,
Yeah.
bro, the source to magazines was what Def Jam was to music.
Yeah. Yep.
That's crazy.
I'll go with that. Some people might argue us and say like, Word Up and Rap Pages and Black Beat and Right On.
But I'm even thinking from a standpoint of I mean, we think about Dave Mays, Rick Rubin. We think about what just the college, and what NYU, Harvard. Just that those parallels, and how they were able to, it's right. I never even thought about that. That's
real, bro. That's real. And then you get Vibe who says like, oh, okay, we're gonna go and get some of these established people that are in the entertainment industry on the writing side. We're gonna get these established photographers. And the ones that are established but may not be as big as they can be, now they have a true home to cultivate their new status with Vibe. Especially I think the thing that extended Vibe's breadth of influence was the fact that they were heavy into fashion. Their fashion was so deep in hits and the meal and all of them. They just really seeped into that world.
When I think about fashion and EICs that really took it there, I definitely think of Emil.
Oh yeah,
in his run. But that legacy over there is just nuts, man.
Crazy. It's a hard one to hold up when they've done so many great things, and then the magazine just started falling into all these different hands on the business side, and it's like the urban entertainment industry on all fronts is going to always churn out people that can keep it going creatively, but it's not going to always churn out people that can keep it right on the business end.
Right.
And both got to go hand in hand, so it can be the best that it can be. You can be so dope creatively. There's so many dope creative joints like Ego Trip with L and all of them, and and there's so many other joints, but they needed big money to take them over the top. And a lot of times they didn't get the big money, so they ended up at the source. They ended up
Mm-hmm.
at Vibe because those are the ones that had the more money. But now it's like, after all these trials and tribulations, I mean, Vibe went into bankruptcy. It came out of it. I was around when it came out, and Jermaine got it. He got it right. Then it got crazy again.
Mm.
And then I was gone, and I came back in 2015.
Right.
And since 2015 to now, I've been there 5 years. And
That's crazy.
yo, bro, and it went like this. I
That's
think
crazy.
it's 5 years. And we've had like 3 different parent companies in that time.
Mm.
So it's always oh, yo, we flowing, we're about to kill it. We're doing all these great covers and all these great ideas. And then we gotta get sold and then learn a new thing. And now we're in this new thing with Penske, which I believe is the best situation that
Mm.
I've seen since I've been back. So I feel like the magazine actually has a chance to win again,
Right.
so I'm happy for that. But to get back to where we were with like King and in the rest, like with Vibe and everything, the magazine industry was so different when they were winning.
Right.
Now it's just like, oh, it's not even about magazines. It's about brands and a lot of times about personalities. It's like the Jasmine brand. You know what I mean?
Right.
XO Nicole, the Joe Rogan podcast. You know what
Right.
I'm saying? Like
Right. Right.
it's people rather than these huge organizations. And I think that was the one thing with King is that people could attribute the magazine to individuals, myself, you, Sean, but they also knew the brand. And
Right.
it's hard to have it where you have a multi-tiered facet where a brand can live on its own, and
Mm.
then the individuals underneath the brand can also be identified with that, because to a crazy degree, we live the lifestyle.
That in itself, man. I mean, that's one thing I really appreciated about coming to a place to where just getting in the magazine game, because before I didn't. I mean, I looked at magazines, from the outside looking in, from just a standpoint of like, okay, these are just dope magazines. But once I, made my way on the inside, it was just like, wow, these are lifestyle brands.
Yep.
These are lifestyle magazines. And after a while, I was just like, damn, we're getting paid to live.
It's
Because
crazy.
we're doing things that we'd like to do.
Yep.
We're able to run in these circles with music, television, film, sports, like girl, like these are all of the different
Art
things.
industries.
Cars,
It was crazy, man. Like
yeah,
to be able to funnel all those different things down, especially when the industry and the music entertainment business was glorifying everything. If it
right,
was the car could damn near fly. It was shiny rims and big and
right,
like big old furs. It was like everything was just super ultra dramatic, not even futuristic, just dope.
mm,
And Black culture was just infused with everything. So it was a really good time to be in content. It was a really good time to be able to say, we're going to take this portion of our urban experience, if you want to say, and glorify it. All the cars, the girls, the hyper sense of I am who I am. We want to make you a king. How
right,
is that? What are the things that you in your life look at as kingly, or what makes your world? And the original tagline for King, when I was coming up with it, was rule your world.
mm,
That was the first one. And I used to just think like, all right, that's cool. It's so kingly. You know what I
right,
mean? It's so
right,
kingly.
right, right,
But as people will see when we get into it more on the first issue, it kind of changed into women access, all of that stuff. But then the tagline, I thought the tagline was super important. And the tagline was the illest men's magazine ever. And
Ever.
and that came from Dennis Page, who
Whoa, what are you talking about?
yeah,
What are you talking about?
he's the publisher of King.
Hold on. Dennis came up with the illest men's
Oh no.
magazine ever? I was about to say, come on. I was about to say, hold
He
up.
didn't come up with that. He came up with he came up with like, yo, you need a tagline.
Right.
And I was like, oh man, I need a tagline. I was like, I thought Rule Your World was it, but it didn't hit with like the immediacy. You know what I mean? So that's when I was like, if you know me, like all of us close, you know, it's like 2-3 words I use the most: gangster, dope, and illest. And I probably use illest more than anything, or gangster. You know what I'm saying? Word. I always say that. So the illest, that I was like, yo, we the illest. I was like, yo, we the illest men's magazine ever. Because it was always about men's magazines, and boom, that stuck. Evan loved it, who was our creative director, and with that kind of stuck for the first joint. But you know, there were a couple of things that led up to this preview issue, and one of the things was leaving Vibe, coming over to Double XL, which was over at Harris Publications, where King was housed, and rocking that Double XL for 2 years, man. I came in kind of like on
another startup, another magazine.
Yeah, from the ground up. Double XL was formed by Reginald Dennis, James Bernard, Rob Marriott, my man Don Morris, the creative director, and those were the guys, except for Don at the time, those were the guys that kind of defected from the source, and Dave Mays and all the craziness that was going on with Dave Mays and Benzino. And y'all could check countless podcasts about that situation. But they ran from that situation early, and they linked up with the Harris publication crew, which was Stanley Harris, who's a long time, you know, publisher of many titles. I mean, he had over 200 at some point, I believe. Everything from almanac stuff to crossword puzzles, to knitting,
gun magazines,
dog news.
Right.
Yo, he had stuff about rugs.
Right.
If you lived it or saw it, he probably had a magazine for it.
Absolutely.
And, they were also huge on the scene because they had a Slam magazine. Slam magazine was the ultimate young black dudes magazine. Like, you just it infused music and basketball and street culture, and you know, you had the NBA players, but you also had like street ballers and stuff, and it was just so ill. So they went over there to start Double XL, which was like the answer to everything. And it's funny, I didn't even get to tell you this, but this is facts that all the magazines got from Reggie Dennis and the crew when they first started. And if you look, it says August 1997, and it starts off, I'm gonna just read a little bit of it. Dear friends, Romans, writers, rock critics, naysayers, and player haters, dick riders, present and future, fair weather friends, present and future, industry parasites and leeches, Japanese and Koreans, Bloods and Crips, Jews and Gentiles, Democrats and Republicans, Mexicans and Puerto Ricans, niggas and niggettes, baby mothers, and they spelled it MUVAS, and fathers, FAVAHS, and esteemed members of the Illuminati. What do Vogue, Popular Mechanics, U.S. News, and World Report, and Mad have in common? They're all magazines, and so are we. Welcome to XXL. Enclosed is your debut issue. By opening this package, you are participating in a historical event. We predict that our book will someday stand alongside the New York Times, Vanity Fair, and Jet as the most legendary publications to grace this wonderful blue-green planet of ours. Hold on. What do the yo, it makes me crack up. What do the New Yorker, Town and Country, and Harper Bazaar have in common? Ain't no niggas in them. I'm like, yo, I'm reading this, yo. This is not my words.
And that actually went out.
This went out, man. They said, but you can be sure that there'll be plenty in our pages. In fact, we promise in for every page. XXL will be lousy with them. What do Vibe and the Source have in common? Wick, wick, whack. What do Murder Dog, Ego Trip, Stress, Rap Pages, and On the Go have in common?
Stop it.
Dope shit.
Oh, okay.
Props
Okay.
to you. But until you guys get to the next level, we're taking the liberty of keeping your seat warm. And that's only half. I ain't even read the rest. This is the kind of energy that they were coming into. That's the original too. I got an original one. That ain't even the facts.
That's
the kind of energy that Reg and them were making with Double XL coming into the game. This is the debut issue. You know what I'm saying? So I'm a youngin'. I'm over at Vibe. I'm interning. One of the interns at Vibe had Reginald Dennis's card. And I remember being in the intern room, and I tell the story. Y'all gonna hear this a lot. I tell the story a lot. He was in the intern room, and he had just like, yo, Dave, there's this new magazine coming out. I ran into this guy. He gave me his card, and he was like, you probably know him. It's my man Rich. My man Rich, he was a photographer. And he happened to be there that day. And I was like, word? He was like, yeah, Reginald Dennis. And I automatically knew who he was because he had the most famous column in the Source called the Dennis Files. And he would diss rappers all the time. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, word? I was like, yo, you hit him up? He was like, nah, I'm not going to hit him. I was like, yo, give me that card, bro.
Right.
So I'm in the intern room. All the interns are in there. We having like just bugging out. We used to have turntables in there. My man Mike and all of them. And I called them while it was mad commotion going on. I just cold called them right there in Vibe. I'm calling Double XL. I don't even know what it is.
Right.
He just told me it was like some new magazine that's coming out geared toward some black kids. So I call, yo, Reginald Dennis, pick up. I'm like, oh, dip. I'm like, hello. I'm trying to tell everybody to calm down. And he's like, yeah, what's going on? I was like, oh, how you doing there? This is Datwon Thomas. I'm with Vibe Magazine. I'm telling them I'm with Vibe. Like, I have no industry etiquette on knowing what happens. I'm still new in the game. This is 97. I've been there close at this point. This must be like April, maybe March or April or something like that. So I'm in there. I didn't know what I was doing when I called that man and told him that I'm a writer for Vibe. I was a writer online, on a sub site on Vibe Online too at that. And
before online was the shit.
Yeah, before it was. And he was just like, yo, oh really? You over at Vibe? Okay, all right. I was like, yeah, I can get you. And I had known about, like, you know, getting your clips together for everything that I wrote on the site and all that. I was like, yeah, I can send you over some stuff. Dog, I have nothing together. And he was like, all right, cool. So yeah, send that stuff over. And yo, you got some time on like Thursday or Friday? I forgot what it was, but it was near my birthday. It was in May. So once again, near my birthday. Yep, near my birthday. It was in May, matter of fact. Or was it April? It was April or May, man. But I remember meeting him not too far from my birthday. And I go and I link up with him, man, and I go to Harris. he told me where to meet him. I go to Harris Publications. I walk in and we met in Stanley's office. I didn't even see the back. I didn't know how hectic it was.
Right.
You know that commercial where they be like, business in the front, party in the back.
Right.
That's how that office is set up.
So it really is.
Front, you go in the back, it looked like a sweatshop.
For real. Literally.
Yeah. So I go and I sit with him, and he's just, yo, I had my clips ready to show him, and my man was like, we talked for 3 hours straight. 3 3 hours straight because I knew all his stuff from the source. He was putting me on the different stories that I would bring up about certain issues.
Mm.
And the whole time I'm like, yo, when is he gonna read my stuff? When he's gonna read my clip?
He reading you. He reading your ass.
He was reading me, bro.
Yeah.
He ain't even care about my clips. I spent mad money to try to money I did not have.
Right.
My man Mike Halsworth designed the hell out of my clip joint. And I love Mike for that, man. Mike, I love you for that, man, because he was working and took the time to stop and make that for me. And the reason why I shout him out is because there's certain people in our journeys that when we make it, sometimes they don't get the recognition for the small things. That was so insignificant to him, but it was so huge to
Massive.
me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? To get me ready for this next step that I don't know if I'm gonna get. I didn't know if he was gonna take me or whatever. It just so happened 3 hours later, man. I'm like, all right, yo, it's dark now. It's like it's dark. It's 7:30 because I met him at 4:30. And it's 7:30. He was like, damn, man, I didn't even know they shut this motherfucker down like this. Because he was still kind of new.
Right.
Reggie Dennis was still kind of new to it. So he was just like, yo, I got some stuff for you to write. And I was like, oh, I bet. I'm still in school too. But he didn't read my class. I was like, yo, you gonna read the joint? He was like, nah, you good. You good. I was like, he didn't read it. He was like, yo, I'm gonna need you to write a couple of reviews. So he started me on reviews. And I turned those around. Then he was like, yo, I need you to write a piece on enhanced CDs.
Wow, enhanced CDs.
Enhanced CDs. Because I think like my first, if I remember correctly, man, my first reviews was like No ID when he did his first album. I want to say like some kind of beat compilation. I got it in here somewhere. I'm looking at all these mags now. But I had to do an enhanced CD feature. I had never done a feature like that before. I always did opinion pieces.
Right.
You know what I mean?
You gotta get technical with this.
Technical, man.
I'm trying to think, was it like Exhibit? I remember Exhibit joint.
There you go.
He had the enhanced CD.
Yep.
Did the Wu have one?
There you go.
They had one? Yeah.
One more.
Damn, man. I don't know, but I know.
Yep. And you know
I'm blanking out on artists, but what I do remember,
it was them
Launch magazine though.
Launch had one too.
Remember Launch had the.
I remember they used to come in. They had to
come in there.
Yeah. And what was so crazy was that Loud Records was the main company, was the main record label.
Loud,
that was doing enhanced CDs because my man Ola and all of them, they were all forward thinkers back then. So they had the Wu-Tang Forever joint that was 97. I think the Mob, I want to say Mob Deep had one that was a little bit earlier.
I want to say they might have too. I'm trying to think, was it Hell on Earth?
But it might have been Hell on Earth or Murder Me. It had to be Hell on Earth because
I think it was Hell on Earth. I'm almost sure it was Hell on Earth.
So they were talking about, you got to do something on enhanced CDs because those are going to be the thing that the kids going to get the CD music, put it in their computer, click on it, and go to the internet. And you get to see extra stuff and all this stuff. It was crazy. So I had to go do that. I had no laptop. I had no computer at home.
Right.
But I had to do it. So I borrowed my man's laptop, was learning about it.
Yeah.
Craziest part, I was so happy because Vibe, I was still going back and forth to Vibe. Vibe was under Loud Records in the building. So I would go upstairs to Ola and them and ask them questions about the enhanced CD. Yo, it just so happened the company that was doing the enhanced CD.
Nah, don't do that. It ain't just so happen shit. Like, dude, that's all purpose, man. That's all purpose, dog. It was designed to happen that way, dog.
I would just go up there, like, yo, Ola and all of them. It was crazy, man. It used to be wild. Like Ray Vaughn would be up in there, Bones Malone, who also worked at Vibe.
Bones Malone.
So I was able to get in that way, get into XXL. Reg and all of them leave. Miss Info was there as managing editor. She called me up one day. I was home. Was like, yo, why don't you come over and work with us? It was almost like freelance.
But hold up, timeline.
Yeah.
When was that?
This is 97, November 97 now.
That's crazy. So they do. So the magazine launched in August 97. They was already out by November.
By November, they were gone. Yep, by the second issue.
They came and started a magazine. They wrote that crazy ass letter.
Yep.
You know, just ignited, you know, just like, oh man, this is what's about to go down. Got the industry all hype and shook up.
Yep.
You know, presented a quality product.
Automatic. It was a hit. The first issue, that issue that had the enhanced CD, that cover was Master P on one cover, Jay-Z on the other.
Yeah.
And it was rare that magazines had split covers, especially in hip hop. It wasn't new, but they were saying that they were going to do that all the time. So what they were doing it was brilliant because they were covering more ground. So instead of just having a Jay-Z issue that would probably in 97 just hit the East Coast, they hit with Master P as the other cover. That hits the South and the West. So now you're pretty good. The second issue is Redman, and the split was too short. So you get the East and the West.
Hold on. So when was Raekwon? Was Raekwon like third?
Raekwon had to be like fifth.
Was it that far down?
Yeah, because that's when Black Spot and them came. Because the fellas, after they finished the second issue, they had their issues with Harris Publications and they dipped. And Minya, Miss Info, she was like, yo, I think I'm about to go out the Vibe. So she bounces the Vibe. I'm there for a couple of weeks, you know, kind of like the only one. Scoop Jackson was helping, the great Scoop Jackson. Slam magazine fame, my big bro, taught me so much in this game. Him, Don Morris, Tony Dravino, Russ, my man Ben Osborne, they kind of like embraced me because the Slam team was right there across the cubicles, not across the hall.
Back in the Swiss shop.
Behind me. And when they bounced, Dennis Page, the publisher, and he went to go get Sheena Lester, who's the music editor over at Vibe, who I had known, and my best friend, Black Spot, Larry Hester, got both of them. Excuse me. Brings them over. I'm there already. Me and Black Spot are bros from Vibe. I got my bro as my boss now. He's the music editor. I'm assistant at the time. I didn't even make associate yet. And Sheena knows me from being Little Day at Vibe. I'm like in heaven. Crazy, man. So Double XL is rocking. You know, it was a rocky start because everybody had to like kind of gel with the new system with Sheena and everybody. And I'm just having the time of my life, man. I'm young. You know, school is out the picture for me. I'm at the spot I want to be at.
Right.
I jump on a flight to Freaknik with my cousins. Some of my cousins drive up. You know, L flies. We fly down to Freaknik, and I'm on a. This is 98. I'm on the It's the last Freaknik too, and everybody was like it was whack, and it was not whack.
On their standard, that's crazy. On their standard, it was whack.
They was like, this is garbage. My standards, I was like, these are pearly gates.
Right.
These are pearly, yo. There was like 13 of us, man. It's like some crew flew us down there. It was crazy. But on my flight down there, I ended up, me and my cousin got separated on the seating thing, and I ended up sitting next to this young brother, super fresh, all North faced out. And he just like as we were about to take off, he was like, yo, you that dude, you do magazine thing? Because by this time I'm kind of like on BT a little bit, like I'm known, like I got my name in the magazine and stuff. and he happened to just like recognize me, and he was like, "Yo, my man," he was like, "Yo, my man is trying to get into that as well." And I was like, "Word?" He was like, "Yeah, man, he's trying to get in." I was like, "Word? What's his name?" He was like, "Bonsu Thompson."
Wow.
And I was like, "Oh, that's what's up." He was like, "Yeah, man. Like, if he could reach out to you, you know, let me know." Like, we exchanged info. I was like, "Yo, we should get up once we get out to ATL. Let's try to get up." And he was like, "I bet," but we exchanged info.
So was
So
Bonsu back? Was he still at Delaware State, or was he already
yeah,
done
he was in
school?
school. He was in school at the time. He was at Delaware State, and I was like, "All right, cool. Just holler at me." So the whole Freaknik goes down. We don't even see each other. Me and his man name is Sean. Everybody call him No. And I jump back to New York, and he reached out. He was like, "Yo, I just want to link you up with my man. Da da da. He gonna give you a call." I was like, "Yeah." Yo, B calls me. It's crazy. B hits, and I was like, "Yo, I don't got a whole lot of pull up here, but I think you should come up here. Just come up and meet some
Just
people.
show up. Show
Just
up.
show up." My man came up. He met with Anna Gebby and the squad over at Slam, and they were kind of like handling the intern situation, and they brought him on. They brought him on, and yo, it was so crazy. As years went on, we found out that his dad was my 6th grade teacher.
What?
At PS9 in Brooklyn. Yep, that's a whole nother story. And then before I left when I got back from Japan in 89, he used to live above my cousin. And my cousin took me up to his crib because I guess they used to like play video games or whatever. And he wasn't home at the time.
Wow.
I didn't meet him in 89.
Right.
I didn't meet him in 86 because I had left to go to Japan after I had his dad for like a month and a half as my 6th grade teacher. So we were supposed to meet so many times, man.
That's crazy.
Which is wild. So that became family, and Bonsu was such an integral part. Him, Black Spot, but Bonsu brought in a different kind of young street stuff because he was like street. And I'm street, but he was street. And it showed in his writing, but he was also academic. You know what I'm saying? So he was able to like really write from this ill point of view, man. And he's definitely to this day still one of my favorite writers. He's tearing it up. If y'all get a chance, go check out Medium, the level joint that I'm in. Jermaine got Bonsu Thompson. Just look for him on Medium. He's killing it. He's killing
LNSU.
Indeed. So to jump from that, just to give everybody like the flavor of Double XL and what it was doing. So we got the heavy hitting team. We doing big things. Great Day in Harlem happens. The whole team comes together. Sheena being the captain, she runs the play. We get over 200 something rappers together.
And so this is 98.
98. This is 98. So you and I, we've just met. Now I'm starting to look at the game like, oh, dip. I'm starting to get a little bit of a name going. But while I'm doing the magazine, while I'm doing Double XL, I had the upfront section. So the upfront section is like masthead, the letters. You're trying to get all the cool stuff up front to, get people into the mag. And since I was always doing the letters, I had this weird thing where I would get the letters and I would open each letter after work. After I did all my work, all the edits and calling everybody and doing all that, I would listen to new albums because we would get them, and I would open up all the fan mail, and I would pick which ones we would put into the next issue. And every time I opened up, the more we would do issues, I'm opening up these letters, and everybody is like, "Who's that girl in such and such video? What kind of car is that? What kind of rims Scarface had on this? Yo, that outfit on such and such." And it wasn't about the music.
Right. Right.
Like every letter wasn't about the music.
Right.
It wasn't. It was about everything else in the culture. And I started seeing that and started seeing like, yo, the car thing was really big.
Mm.
The women thing was really big. Maxim and stuff and all of that was starting to come around. And towards the end of like 99, going into like the summer, I remember talking to Black Spot, like, yo, we gotta do something, man. We gotta do something. We gotta make a mag with like girls and stuff and cars. But it was mainly cars at that time. And plus the success of the eye candy section that Don Morris was heavily like instrumental in making. That section became one of the hottest sections in Double XL.
But dude, the crazy thing, man, it's like, bruh, like doing the letters, depending on, how you look at it, some people look at it and be like, ah, man, shit. Man, they got me on these letters. That's some bullshit. It's like, because it seemed like it's just some tedious grunt work. But real talk, I mean, that's what positioned you to have your finger on the pulse of what people wanted. It's like, this is long before social media. Like, this was the form of social media.
That was it.
You were able to go ahead and figure out what the trending topics were based off of the common shit that people were asking about, which were the cars, the girls. And it was just like, oh shit, not even tripping on the music. And it's like, sometimes you could overthink things and like, okay, let me give people what I think they want instead of listening to what they want. And man, you were able to go through those letters and see like, damn, man, this is what people are actually asking for.
Yo, it was wild, man. But it was so many dope people during that time, and to be so inspired. Like Black Spot was heavily instrumental. Like he was the one that was really driving it home since he was in the pole position. Bonsu would always come up with stuff, even when he was away from school. Scoop Jackson would always keep us sharp. This is after Sheena left. Sheena was the one that really set the structure on how a story should flow, and here's what you should add, and take this out. What's wrong with you? What are you doing with this? It was so many dope people, man. Don Morris just like opened up my creative side, and he was like, you can write all the words you want. People want to see some dope shit. And if you can make it where the words could love and the pictures could live, you're gonna win. And I was just getting schooled in so many different ways, man. And just like not plotting, but just retaining the information for at some point something's gonna happen. So I wasn't making a lot of money. I wasn't making a lot of money, but was having a, we were going up against the Source. We was going up against Double XL, Vibe, and of course we were nowhere in their numbers, but our influence was huge, and I think it started to make people kind of look. So towards the end of 99, man, I already had the cannabis story under my belt. I had the Murder Inc. story under my belt.
But dude, even before you go to 99, it's just crazy to think about. Like, I mean, this shit like literally sounds like it sounds like a movie. It sounds like a movie.
There's so much left out.
It sounds like a movie. It sounds like it's like, like we're doing Back to the Future right now.
It's great.
What I'm saying? And I'm like, man, we're in a damn DeLorean and we're stopping in these different places. And I'm like, damn, I remember where I was when this was happening or when that were happening. It's like, as you're talking, I'm like, man, Double XL launching August of 97. Dude, I was in New York, for the summer from college, doing my intern thing that I didn't give a shit about getting any credit for. I was getting all my work experience, invaluable work experience. Shout out to my girl Anne-Marie Stripling.
Yes.
Talking about just shouting out people who just played amazing roles. My boy Mark King, Pam Lewis. I mean, just so many, just great, people played these roles.
Right.
And but I remember leaving New York, going back to school, August of 97, and seeing like, okay, Jay-Z issue and P issue, and it's like, what is this, right? And it's just crazy to think that only a year later, right? A year later, I graduate and I make my way back out to New York because I didn't do like I stayed on campus for that summer so I could finish up. And I finished up in August, which is when I came, August 98, came to New York, snuck into the Vibe conference, met you in Black. And before I met y'all though, I ran into ran into Keith Clinkscales. This dude caught me. He caught me. You know what I'm saying? Because I like kind of slid in, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I had no badge and then because I literally left school because I was like, man, even though I'm trying to think I think I had to finish up classes, but I knew that conference was like August 5th or some shit like that. And I was like, man, I got to go to New York. I got to go, I'm jump on this Greyhound, go out here for this conference and I'm going to come back. But I got to go out. Like that's somewhere I need to be, right? I wasn't there all summer. I'm going out there for this. I don't know where the hell I was getting the money from, whatever. Matter of fact, I do know I was working, selling magazines. Yeah, ironically, that was like my part of my summer job, so I was selling U.S. News and World Reports, and it's crazy how that shit works. But I'm out there in 97 because even when you were talking about the greatest day of Harlem, it's like I remember that day. I remember that day because I was in New York, working over at Motown, and we were in the Polygram building right there at 49th and 8th.
There you go.
And so I remember I'm leaving work, I'm coming out, and I see Corrupt walking in, and I'm like,
"What? Dog Pound, DPG?
I'm like, what are you doing in New York?"
Yeah.
Mind you, this is his A&M Antra days when he did the Corruption album. And he had the, weekend gig and
That's the joint.
Yeah. And so I'm like, dang, what you doing in New York, man? He was like, oh man, I'm up here for the photo shoot. They had the big shoot up in Harlem, man. All the rappers up there. I'm like, what you talking about?
Wow.
What you talking about? He's like, yeah, man, everybody was there, man. I was like, damn, for real? I'm like, damn, I missed that. I'm like, man, damn, okay, whatever.
Damn.
Not knowing what it was though.
Right.
Not knowing what it was at all. I was just like, okay, damn, I missed the opportunity to see a whole bunch of rap cats together. I didn't know what the hell it was for. So when I met you in Black at the Vibe conference, like a month and a half earlier,
yep.
You know what I'm saying? We chopping it up. And I'm like, yeah, man, I'm trying to go ahead and get in this writing game. At that time, I had only done like some independent magazine shit, the shit I was talking about while I was interviewing Alan Ferguson for the independent magazine. Right. That my boy was doing for the music video industry. So that was my writing clips,
right,
that I was doing with Bobby Yan. And so, like right before I met, damn, this is a whole other fucking story. Right before I end up meeting y'all, I met another editor at Rap Pages.
Oh,
my boy P.E. Cobb.
I remember that byline.
Right, P.E. Cobb, and he was out there with Alan,
the black cat, the ebony cat.
Yeah, Alan. Damn, what's Alan? I'm drawing a blank. What's Alan's last name? Alan Gordon, my man. Alan Gordon, good dude. You know what I'm saying? Good dude, man. You know what I'm saying? Who really liked you?
Yeah, that's my guy, man.
Like, he really, really, really liked you. I mean, it was some weird shit going on between Rap Pages and Double X at that time. Yeah. But he was like, yeah, that Datwon guy, though, man. I like him.
That's my guy, man. Right? Good people.
And so I met P.E. Cobb. This is gonna fuck you up. I met P.E. Cobb at the Rap-A-Lot Scarface album release party in Houston.
Stop, man. You're bugging. Yo, me and Black was there.
Bruh.
At that hotel?
Bruh. Bruh. Bruh.
That was a wild night.
Hold on. So that was crazy. It's like,
yo,
that was a wild couple days. Yo,
I walked into a room and
how long was y'all there?
We was there for like 3 days, maybe.
Right.
Yeah, 3 days. Right. But they had, yo, man, listen. I walked into one of the wrong rooms, man, in
Mm,
that hotel room. It was so much going on in there. I was just like,
bruh,
what the hell is this? Is the music industry.
bruh.
That's it was one of those rooms. And it
Yes.
was a room that had other rooms in it.
Right. Right. I
But
know exactly
go ahead, bro.
what you're talking about. I know exactly what you're
Yes,
talking about.
yes.
That was a beautiful time,
It was
man.
a crazy
Oh
time.
my God. I was going out to Lil Jay's house and at the
Yup.
ranch and I was riding horses. Like, what the hell,
On the
right?
hay. Remember it
On
had
the,
the hay ride?
bruh, bruh. The only time I rode a horse was then. And the only reason why I got on the horse is because Pimp C's son got on the horse.
Oh wow.
Pimp C was. I'm trying to think. I think Pimp C might have been locked. Was he locked up then? I think he was locked up then. But Mama West was there, and
Yep.
Pimp's little Chad was there, and he
Wow.
got on the horse. He got on like this little slow horse. It was like, oh man, you gonna let the little kid get on the horse? You ain't gonna get on no horse. I'm like,
Like, let me get on this mule.
you know, man, you better not kick, because this is right after Christopher Reeves. You know, I
Oh
was like,
yeah.
like, look, the horse is taking out Superman. I ain't messing with no horse.
Word up.
But it's just crazy. So, you know, met my man P.E. Cobb. So he eventually, you know, gave me a piece to write. But before that piece came out, met you and Black, and y'all were just like, yo, come to the office. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you want to write? All right, cool. Give me information. You know, I got your information. I came through the office, and you know what I'm saying? Big box of CDs. I remember Black was like, yo, man, you from Michigan, huh? You in all that, you know, that South shit, that West Coast shit. Like, yeah, you can take that shit, you know what I'm saying? You want to do like some reviews.
Take all that.
He's like, you can do some. I was like, yeah, I listen to all that. I'm looking through. I'm like, man, this is the shit. This is the shit. So he's like, yeah, do some reviews. So, dog assigned me 2 record reviews.
Yeah.
Ghetto Mafia.
Yep.
You know, straight from the deck.
Yep.
And it was a Cell Block Records compilation, you know, based on the West Coast. You know what I'm saying? Which had one of my favorite MC Breed songs of all time, All the Dreams. Still one of my favorite songs ever. I was like, oh man, this shit is hard. You know what I'm saying? So I do both of those music reviews, not knowing that, bruh, those 2 reviews were in that damn Greatest Day in Harlem issue, dog. That was my very first published, for real published.
That's the issue to be in.
In that issue.
That's the issue to be in.
So I was going crazy.
That's the issue to be in.
I'm in New York every single time I walk by a newsstand, I'm stopping.
Yep.
Flipping through.
Just cause. Even if you ain't copied. Yeah, man. Those are the times. Those were the times, man. Like now we on fire. We on fire at Double XL. We on fire. Everything is looking good. But there's the whole going into, you know, 1999 thing. You know, I did the Murder Inc. cover. Black is killing with just like everything.
Don't brush over that. Don't do no casual ass.
I know. You know, I'm trying to get to.
What is the Murder Inc. cover, dog? Come on.
Yo, the Murder Inc. cover was incredible to be.
What is the Murder Inc. cover? Let motherfuckers
man.
Don't know.
The Murder Inc. cover is Jay-Z, Ja Rule, and DMX.
Man, all together.
Remaking an Ice-T themed power cover where you had them on the front looking at you, and then when you flipped over the magazine, the back cover, they was holding chains, pipes, and bats, you know, behind their backs. You couldn't see it. And, you know, big shout to Don Morris, big shout to Jonathan Mannion, big shout to Irv Gotti, helping to get all that together, Dame and D and Y. It just took Rough Riders, Murder Inc., and Rockefeller and Def Jam to make that happen. Big shout to Gabby Peluso. Just, oh man, it was such an amazing time, man. But I mentioned that because that was a turning point in my career where people were like, oh, okay. After the cannabis thing, it was like, all right, he's serious. And so 99 is going on. And towards the end, I'm starting to feel like, all right, what's going on? I'm gonna get this extra money, or, you know, what else is coming? You know, Vibe is doing their thing, Source doing their thing. I'm getting hollered at by people, and the internet is starting to pop. There's so many different spots jumping up, and a lot of editors from these major spots are going into internet portals where it's like hip hop and e-commerce.
Right.
So Selwyn Hines, he goes off with Russell, and they do, I think, 360 hip hop.
360, yeah, 360 hip hop. Yep.
Yeah, and then you had UBO, and you had
That's UBO was
God, man, it
what's
was
my man? What's my man? Oh my God, I'm drawing a blank.
yeah.
Dude was so amazing. Movie producer, movie producer,
I thought
and
Smokey and them had something too.
Smokey Fontaine has some. But damn,
Yep.
man, bless the dead, man.
Oh, I forgot
It's
who
gonna
it
come
was.
to me. It's gonna come to me,
Oh,
man.
George Jackson.
George Jackson.
George Jackson.
George Jackson. That was my CEO when I was over at Motown, man.
Yes,
Amazing dude.
He did
Amazing dude.
UBO. And that and
UBO,
that Juice, right?
He did Crush Groove.
Crush Groove. I'm bugging. So who did Juice?
That was Ernest Dickerson.
Or Ernest Dickerson. I'm bugging.
Ernest Dickerson. So yeah, Doug McHenry and George Jackson did Crush Groove. Yeah.
Wow, man. Like
it was
so many of those type of spots, man. And a lot of the investors were putting money behind these joints, and they came and scooped me and Black up to do hook.com.
Mm-hmm.
And basically hook.com was, what you would look at kind of like these blogs today, but with clothing. So all the hot clothing brands at the time, you would be able to buy from our site. So like Aniche, Mecca, 555 Soul, Sean, and
PNB Nation,
like all of that, all the dope stuff, man. And we had an exclusive with Sean John.
Mm-hmm.
Puff was part of the advisory and chairman board, I believe, and we got a chance to work with Puff all the time. So it's me, Jermaine Hall, Black Spot, all the homies, Shaheem Reed, who came over, Keith Murphy,
Mark Allwood,
Mark Allwood, Mahogany Brown, Vicky, everybody that was over at Vibe. Yep.
My boy Lake Con.
Yo, everybody that was over at Vibe with us in the early days of intern, and then everybody that was at Double XL, that was that was on some like Freaknik stuff, all rolled with us over there, man.
Yep.
And we did that for a year and a half. When I tell you, it was the most fun, stressful, wild, enlightening, educational point in my career. It just let me know where people's hearts were,
man.
Because there was times when there's a story on Level about those times. If you go, I forgot the title of it, but it's by the most incredible writer, Leah S. King, and it's on Level through Medium. Just check it out. And we talk about that era, and just to be on the edge, just to understand, like, yo, at any point the plug could get pulled from what you're doing. So I left Double XL at a high, and when I left, Elliot Wilson, when me and Black left, Elliot Wilson was about to take over Double XL, and I was like, damn, man, I hope I'm doing the right thing, because I knew the way that he came in on the Rockefeller cover, on the Rock for Life cover, that red cover, and I helped put that together. But it was so crazy to see, like, all right, I'm about to leave my home for the last 2 years where I made my name, and I'm starting to get on TV and all this stuff. And now I'm going to like this startup on the internet, going back to the internet.
Come on, man. You got to take people there. It was so much money.
It was, man.
People were dumping so much money into these internet sites. They had no idea how this going to get the return, but it just was the thing to do at that time.
You had to do it, man.
It was so much bread. And I remember when Black, you know what I'm saying, got pulled, and you got pulled, go over the hook, and everybody else start going over. And I remember in my mind, I was like, okay, it's time for me to move to LA. I was, living in New York at the time. This was after college. Motown had already, fired everybody in the building.
Yeah.
For however many times.
The
So
industry was shaking because of this internet stuff too. It was also happening in the music industry because they was starting to get siphoned from Napster and everything else. So yeah,
there was a lot going on, man. And I didn't even realize though. Damn, I brushed over there with Motown. I didn't even the big ass corner office, Black Godfather. That's a whole other story that we'll go ahead and
we'll get into it.
I put on my Motown varsity jacket that I do still have. But I remember I just felt like, damn, man, it's time for me to move to LA because I was always the plan, set up shop in New York, then also set up shop in LA and be able to go back and forth. So I remember I was getting ready to leave. I remember Mahogany in particular. Mahogany's like, yo, where you going? Man, there's money over here. We got the new spot, you know what I'm saying? They giving out jobs and they got bread. I was like, yeah, but it's like it's time for me to go to LA. That's what my gut and my heart was telling me. It's time for me to move to LA. Right. And so I went ahead and made the move.
That's
what I'm saying? However many few $100s I had, what I'm saying? I was in grind mode. It was like, it's time, to set up shop, plant the flag out there. And the craziest thing is, as much as I was hustling and struggling, to get pieces, get placements and work, when I was living in New York, when I went out to the West Coast, I'm like, damn, all the New York editors are calling me now.
Yeah.
Everybody is like throwing work my way. Oh shit, you out there in LA? Damn, one of us is out there now. Hey, man, I was getting thrown stuff left and right. And then as far as Hooked is concerned, it was just like, man, I'm just doing stuff, throwing it back, it back. And I was just like, the pace.
Yeah,
the pace was amazing. And dude, I had so many different platforms, outlets that I'm writing for. I'm doing stuff. I got sports outlets. I got music stuff. I got places I can do music reviews. I got places I can do concert reviews. I got car stuff. And it was like in this right now, this is what I was, sort of, started talking about at the end of the last episode. Like, bruh, by the time King finally came back around, man, I wanted nothing to do with it. When King was coming, I wanted nothing to do with King Magazine before I even knew what King Magazine was. What I knew was it was something in print, and I was like, the hell with print. Online was so good. That money was so good. I'm like, hold on a second. I could write something like today, and it go up today.
Yep.
And then my check is on the way. But I write something in print.
Yep.
That joint is going to come out in like 2, 3, 4 months.
Yep.
And my check is gonna come in like 4, 5, 6 months, man. I was like, the hell with print.
Yep.
The hell with print. I was done. I had BT.com. I had Yahoo.
Nobody could blame you, eh? Nobody could blame you because the money was so good if you were a freelancer and if you was on staff. Like they tripled my salary from Double XL. Right. You know what I'm saying?
That's why your ass left, Elliot.
That's why I really left. I was like, yo,
right.
and they couldn't match it at the time. So I was like, all right, bet. See, like
your salary.
I know they could have matched it, but they couldn't match it. You know what I'm saying? I was just like, I really wanted to do the magazine on the lifestyle side more so than just on the music side and what we were doing with Double XL. And I had a feeling like with L coming over, I knew we were going to go all the way music, and I wasn't sure like what position I could play. And he was very open, like, "Yo, man, you got a spot. If you stay, you got a spot." You know what I'm saying? And I respect him and always love him for opening that door for me. And I just knew like, oh man, this would be one of those rare times that I would get to work with all my friends. All of them, every single friend I had that I considered fam. You know what I'm saying? We get to go work together on our own joint with Hook. Come on, man, and make more money. You couldn't ask for nothing else. But as with that whole early 2000s going into 2001, we were able to make some innovative things as far as like e-commerce for hip hop and bringing like out, when I tell you, this is another thing, and this man should win an award for this. Keith Murphy.
Mm.
Everyone calls him Murph.
That trial.
This man covered the Diddy trial
Right.
every day.
Right. Like literally.
With the same, if not more quality. And this is not a shot because my man Sway was showing up.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if Sway was there every day like Murph.
Right.
Murph was there reporting, finding insight. And I used to just be in awe of the fact that this dude was so dedicated to being a rugged journalist for our site that the New York Post and them was getting information from. You would see him be like, "Yo, that's Murph joint. That's the only Murph know."
And that was amazing too about that particular time, man. It's like we would break, news, and other people would pick it up, and it's like, yo, that came from us.
That came from us, and I'm sure there's a bunch of other hip hop, spots during that time that could claim the same thing. But we were doing some really dope work, man, and everybody worked hard. But the one thing that I loved about the Hook.com team was when it came down to like people getting let go because of like, budget concerns and things of that nature.
When that bubble finally busted.
When that bubble was busting, and it was like a slow bust. It wasn't even like a boop. It was a slow leak because every other week they were letting people go. And at one point they had to, start chopping down on the edit squad. And our edit team, the members that didn't get let go, a lot of us forfeited our salaries to save the ones that were going to get let go.
Yeah.
And when we found out like how much it was and all that, we huddled together and started doing the math and was like, nah, if I give up this much and this person give up this much, this person can make their rent. This person
Ain't that crazy? Yeah.
Oh, bro,
family, man.
That's family. And that's one of the reasons why, like, that's 20 years ago. Pretty much every single person that did that for that person and or other things, we're all family today. We can all call on each other today.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't trade that for any kind of success that I would have had going forward with Double XL, because now I got people that I know I could depend on in the crunch. I know I got people that love me outside of just that, being able to do that. And we might not all get together like we should, but we still keep in touch here and there. It's just knowing that those times happen.
Right.
And, it's through that vehicle of Hook. Mahogany should get an award too, because she put together a bunch of battle shows over at Wetlands that used to be around the corner of Tramps. And they used to be the Hook.com battles. So you have people like Jin and all of them coming through battling for the first times and stuff before he got big. So big shout out to Mahogany, who's an incredible, accomplished, award-winning literary god. I'm putting it on. She's a literary god right now. If you look her up,
I owe Mo a call so bad. Yo,
yeah, man.
I told you, like, dude, when Mahogany came to New York, from the West Coast, from the Yay area.
Yep.
I remember meeting her when I was a publicist and she was a writer.
Yep.
And stayed in contact. Before, definitely long before the Hook days. And bruh, dude, I was her very first stop.
Wow.
I was her very first stop. She left, she landed, and I'm trying to think, did she land in Jersey? And at the time I was living in Jersey City, you know what I'm saying? She came back to my crib, I think she crashed that night, and it was just like, from there, it was just like, man, she pound the pavement.
I'm gonna tell you right now, me and Black Spot still don't know how we met Mahogany. She showed up at Double XL, was like, yo, y'all section is filthy. Cleaned our whole joint. We just I bet if you ask Black, we're gonna get Black on the show soon.
That's hilarious.
And I think the first question we should ask him is, yo, how'd you meet Mahogany? He's not gonna be able to tell you because I can't. Maybe she knows.
But it had to have happened in that same
Oh
small
no,
window. Because the
it was
thing is,
definitely that time.
like I said, so she, yeah, because I was there. Yeah, I was still in Jersey. Yeah, obviously I was in Jersey when
Yeah,
she moved out there, and then we used to all hang out. Like
I think she just wrote us and said that she was coming.
we used to hang out. 'Cause I remember she started bartending.
Yeah, yo, Mo is the best, man. Her, Detox, Vicky, that whole
I
crew.
remember me, her, and Black hanging out.
Yeah, because Black was living in Jersey at the time, I think.
Yeah, man, we went and
Yep.
watched like Bigger and Blacker,
Yes, yes. Oh,
Chris
who that?
Rock joint around that time. Huh?
That was Chris Rock?
Yeah.
Yeah, man. But bringing that up is like having that family unit at Hook during those times. And remember, this is 2000. You know, we're going into 2001. The game is changing. The industry is starting to change because now they're starting to see that the internet is powerful, but it's powerful in a different way. It was powerful as far as like, you know, music piracy. You know what I'm saying? Like people are just downloading stuff. The music industry is like just spiraling because they're losing money because people are on LimeWire, they're on Napster,
Yep.
they just downloading, they ripping CDs, and you know you had the dudes up on 125th. It was still popping like that, and now it's like what's gonna happen because everybody wasn't online yet. People didn't have mobile phones with the internet on them, or like as prevalent as it is now.
Man, we had dial up.
Yeah, bro. You got dial-up.
Net zero was a thing.
Yeah, you got folks still playing Snake. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like,
wow.
so people didn't have broadband yet.
Nah,
there was no FiOS and nothing. So all these flash heavy sites couldn't be downloaded through a dial-up.
Right.
You know, you'll be waiting forever for one page, and so no
and
matter.
Then somebody pick up the telephone. And it's a wrap.
It's a wrap. It's over.
You got to start all over.
It was still those days. It was still some of those days. And as it was progressing, we got to see like, oh man, this thing ain't gonna make the money that they shelled out. So the middle part of 2001, the early part of 2001, that 2000 Christmas,
right,
going into 2001 was brutal, man. We was losing people a lot. So by the time spring came, that's when you just started seeing people jumping. Jermaine, I think, jumped to The Source. Black, I think, left for BET. Everybody was just leaving, man. And I was just like, I was just looking. This big warehouse loft that had over close to 100 people in it whittled down to like 30. Then it whittled down to like 20. And by April of 2001, I'm just looking around like, what am I going to do?
Right.
What the hell? Everybody's starting to pop. I remember Jay-Z got that line where he was like, he didn't know what was going to happen. Nas is blowing, this one's blowing, and he's like, I'm going to be a failure. But it was like, I still was doing good work. You know, I had one of the things that really was a bright spot for me during that time was rocking with Jay Dilla. Did a Jay Dilla interview, and he was talking about, you know, patience and the perfect timing and you know, getting with the right people and then, you know, putting the work in. It was like everything he was talking about was like really just starting to hit me. And I remember before I left Double XL, I did pitch the idea that didn't ultimately become king, but was like kind of grounded in that lifestyle.
Right.
Innocent in them, he'll never remember it, but you know, they didn't necessarily approve it in that way. It was kind of like blown off. And that spring of 2001, I get a call from Don Morris, who is the creative director for Slam, Double XL, and he was just like, yo, they talking about doing this magazine with the girls, kind of like eye candy, but you know, car stuff. It was really on the car thing because I was heavy into that at the time. And he was like, Why don't you just hear them out, man? Just hear them out. Why don't you hear them out? I was like, all right, cool. I'm over here like, all right. Like, but really like, oh shit, I can get to go back.
Right.
I was like, man, I hope this shit work.
Right.
And I go to meet with Dennis Page, the publisher at the time. And if everybody know, Dennis is crazy, wild, older white dude, very upfront, super blunt, mad jokey, but could turn to a fireball in a second.
Right.
Super street smart, knows all about Black culture more than Black people to a degree that would blow your mind.
Right.
And regardless of what you think of him, he was forward thinking enough to know that slam would work, to know that double XL would work, and to know that this thing could possibly work. He'll always say he would never know, but he's not a guy that's not gonna hedge his bet. You know what I'm saying? Like he knew. And we spoke, man, and made me feel like, yo, you could do it. Hopefully with this episode, y'all understand his version.
Right.
But I felt like, wow, I get to come back to the place that solidified me in the game. Vibe got me in, double XL solidified me. Hook taught me the ups and downs and how to survive that. And then to come back and get your own mag that you could just...
That's crazy.
Bro. And I get to do it again with my friends, but this time the way that I want to do it.
That's crazy.
And have them infuse their stuff without the craziness. Because Dennis was on some like, yo, go ahead. Don Morris, man, I got to thank him for even pushing for me. I got to thank him for always being like that creative guy to be like, think bigger. Even though he wasn't able to work on the mag that he thought would happen, because his relationship started to fray a little bit up there. And he ended up leaving not too soon after. Evan Gubernick, who worked on like all the guitar mags and stuff like that, he was assigned to work with us on King, man. And I was like, oh, the guy that never talked?
Yeah.
That dude that hardly ever talked.
Right.
With guitar magazines and stuff.
Right.
But man, oh man, did that man change the game. That man changed the game. When I tell you he got into this right here,
right,
where we were able to, come up with the cover and then the logo, and just being like, yo, each section has to have something that grabs the eye like this, and then let the words rock. Don't use a whole lot of words, man.
Right.
Let the pictures talk too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Let Jay look at them, and then you tell them and get up on out of there for the preview issue. You don't want to give them too much. You want them to know, like, this dude is serious. He's about to take over the game. So now we're looking at like coming up with this issue. This was what, like we worked April, May, June. It drops around August.
Yeah, I think it's around August, man.
Yeah, this comes around August. I know you got down with us later.
Dude, Trish hit me probably around June, July.
Yeah.
And Datwon, asked me to reach out. First you told me. Yeah. First you hit me, was like, yo, man, I got something, man. And I'm just thinking like, what the hell, man? I was like, dude, I'm thinking like, man, it's like you wouldn't even tell me.
Right.
The full extent of it. You were just like, yo, you know what I'm saying? I'm not even gonna get into like the specifics of how that conversation went, but you was like, yeah, this magazine is gonna, it's gonna be special.
That's real.
It's gonna be special for you.
That's real.
But I'm just thinking to myself, like, damn, print. Dude, I'm telling you, dude. I'm telling you, my mind at that time, man, I was rocking. I was single as hell.
Right.
I'm in LA. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to hoop every day.
You living,
all
bro.
kind of freelance joints going. Man, it's like I got my little Cadillac. Like, dog, I'm good.
You good
Right?
money.
I'm so good. I am so good. So I'm like, print. I'm like, damn, you know what I'm saying? Days hit me. I'm like, all right, man, just yeah, I'm cool. I'm down because I'm in my mind at that time I wasn't messing with print no more.
I know.
So Trish called and was like, yo, this is what we're doing, and okay, and she helped to get all of the fundamental stuff together, and those first assigned me those first couple pieces for the premiere issue,
Yeah.
and dude, I'm gonna tell you, at that time in my mind I was like, yo, okay, this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna get down with it. But if I can make like $2,000, it'll be a win. Because I need like $2,000. If I could go ahead and if I could stay along with this King thing for till I can make $2,000.
Yep.
I would be good because I got this book I need to write. And, you know what I'm saying? That's gonna help front the money I need to write this book.
Yo, dog. Just think of the goals, bro. The goals.
$2,000.
Yo, man. When I think of that, man, that makes me think of like us sitting around talking about the future of the mag and in our careers at the same time. And what ended up happening was first person I reached out to once I got the okay from Dennis and him was Ben Osborne. And Ben Osborne right now is the editor-in-chief of Bleacher Report.
My dog.
The mighty Bleacher Report. That was my man.
That one. Yeah, that Bleacher Report.
Before Bleacher Report, he had ended up becoming the editor-in-chief of Slam for so many years.
Right.
And before that, he was right there with me, over at King. And
rocking out too, rocking.
Ben is and was the most solid individual I felt that could build the mag with me, the infrastructure of it, because we had worked at Double XL as youngins, from like 96 all the way on, and him being over at Slam. So we were kind of like parallel individuals in that stage of our careers with the same kind of like, big brother and sister mentors. And like I said before, working on that Great Day in Harlem joint, man, we were just like Batman and Superman, and just rocking. So when it came time to get the nuts and bolts of like how this mag was gonna operate, I went to Ben and had a meeting with him and was just like, yo, bro, I need you. I need you. I'm probably gonna make some mistakes, but I'm cool with that. I know a lot of people, but I'm down to just go ahead and let you rock on like, yo, who we need and what we need. He was like, nah, who we need is on you. I'll get things coming. Just get the ideas organized and all of that. And he did that, man. But one funny thing he did was like, yo, we're gonna need a manager editor. I was like, all right, find me one of those.
Whatever, that thing. Yeah, that thing.
That thing.
Whatever that thing you said, that manager thing. Yeah, get one of those.
We need one of those. And we had, through the years, we had always had like really dope manager editors at Harris. One in particular, she was so tough. Her name was Anna Gebby, but she was dope. And I think Ben and I wanted someone that was dope like Anna, but could still be approachable without feeling like you're about to get your head, severed if you was late with copy. You know what I'm saying? And I want to say he might have reached out on Media Bistro, and he got Patricia DeLuca.
Trish.
Going to work with the WWE.
Yes.
And a bunch of other amazing things. And Trish was our first manager editor, man.
Trish.
She helped put this together. I got funny stories about making this shot happen. My man Daniel Garriga, he did, he was the guy that changed out both of our lives. It ironically by later on introducing us to our fashion director, Miss Shanita Palmer,
Shanita.
which is crazy. But in this particular shot, we didn't shoot this. Daniel shot this, and he had it. And somebody on our squad knew of Daniel, and I ended up meeting with Daniel Garriga. And it was a wild meeting, man. I had to go meet him somewhere too, and the dude, the dude that we had to go meet, he was like trying to lock people in the building, and yo,
the hell?
Yeah, it was crazy, bro. I know Dan, you're gonna be like, "Oh, why the hell you say that shit?" But
it happened.
It happened. It happened. But I always think about the fact that Daniel was like, "If my name is going to be on this, it has to be of prestige." He was just like real up there with it. Like he made me want to make it even bigger, even just looking at his photos.
Right.
And we went through his archive, and he had just shot the amazingly beautiful Nicole Robinson, top tier model, man. She's on everything that's dope, even now. And I just love the fact that we had a brown chocolate woman on the cover to be able to say like, look at this, man. She's looking right into you, like chilling. She's lounging, you know. Nicole Robinson, supermodel. That was it. Bam, there we go.
That's all you need.
Like your answer to stuff, your answer to Maxim, your answer to FHM, you know, because they weren't putting Chocolate Sisters up on a joint like that. But
you gotta let people know though. That's the preview issue. You gotta let people know, like you know, for those that are, you know, on just the consumer side, you know, that never hit the newsstand.
Nah, this never hit the newsstand. This was just for advertisers and industry to let them know we were coming, and to be like, "Yo,
it was gonna be like, give them an idea, a taste."
So we had this on the back, and what it says is premiere issue on sale November 27th, 2001. You know, so this was just letting y'all know, if you want to get down, you better hit us, because you know we're gonna be hot. You know, and this preview was very different than all the other previews that Harris Publication had done, I feel, because some of the other previews had like pieces in it, like real pieces. So it almost looked like mini premiere issues. This one, like, we had many pieces. You know what I mean? Like maybe no more than 200 and something words, but we were very, very detailed with it. You know, we had tech, we had style, you know, excess. You got Jada Kiss with Chris. Techno Marine Watches was hot. You know,
I'm gonna get my $2,000. I knew it. I was like, I'm gonna get my $2,000 out of this damn print ass magazine, boy.
But what was so ill was like Evan challenged me into making our creative director into making it a world. You know, like, yo, if this is what you're gonna be, you know, talking to these guys about, you got to make it feel like it's their world. So, like the XXL, I remember the XXL letter that they sent out by fax to all those magazines. I wanted something similar, but I knew I was talking to the industry and other folks. So I started it with "Welcome to the party of the century," the kind of party where you get all your peeps in for free. It's open bar all night. DJ Funk Master Flex is killing them, and all the lovely women in the house are in lust with you. King Magazine is just what you've been waiting for. A magazine of pure adrenaline that brings you to the best of everything that is your lifestyle. In every issue, you'll be surrounded by sexy women, fast cars, hard-hitting sports, real money, and mad music. We'll bring you the latest in technology with gadgets and games, the hottest styles to wear, and take you to exotic places that are worthy of a king's presence. We will dive into the bodies and minds of models, actresses, and singers that you want to spend quality time with. We'll even get on the record the real business behind the street's most infamous public figures. The type of stories you talk about are what we talk about, but we'll add the pictures and passion. So get your game tight because your throne is waiting. Rule your world with King. Respect. Datwon Thomas, Editor-in-Chief.
Dude, when I tell you, man, I bring back so many just amazing memories, man. And it's nuts to hear that. I've sat with that preview, like, man, just countless hours flipping through, like, damn, just the paper stock. I mean, just everything about it was just like amazing, man. And just to think about, Dennis, Page, the foresight, he didn't go cheap. Giving us the, just the green light to be able to rock and roll, man. You got to think, man, we were all babies at that time. We were young as shit. That magazine, that issue come out, we were 26 years old.
Yeah, man.
And we had real ass photographers, real ass budgets. We weren't doing anything like, anybody else. And it's crazy, just a full circle moment, even going back to, that letter, and my thoughts at that, earlier on, like, man, I'm gonna get this $2,000, so I could go ahead and write this book I want to write. Dude, King Magazine ultimately got me my literary deal.
There you go.
With William Morris out of all companies, which is crazy. To write a car book for Funkmaster Flex.
Crazy.
Which that relationship came at a time when Flex, had like some real ill feelings towards Harris altogether. He wasn't rocking with Harris. He wasn't, he was a huge, still is a huge car dude. Truth be told, love cars more than he does music.
Mm-hmm.
But even with us doing Rides magazine, and when me and him, got closer and start talking about the book and different things, and him, learning and understanding that I'm over at King and Rides. He's like, man, I do need to call over there.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I do need to, so I remember him, finally reaching out. Because I'm trying to think, what was like his big thing?
I forgot what it was.
Was it Johnny?
It might have been something that happened in one of the XXL issues. It might have been like a rating or something. I can't remember.
It was something, but he was tight.
Yeah, he was upset about it. But we ended up working it out, and then
he ended up getting on the cover of Rides.
Cover of Rides. But even before Rides, he was in the magazine. He was doing a column.
Yeah, remember? But I remember all of that came back together.
Exactly, with all that. So, big shout out to Flex. We definitely. He got a new album dropping too. We gotta talk to Flex. We're gonna talk to Flex for later. I know we keep saying we're gonna talk to people later, but we will.
We most definitely will.
We most definitely will. I mean, the preview issue was really dope because it was a chance to just introduce the sections of the magazine to people, and we had my man Shaheem Reed, who had to write under a pen name.
Kawan R. Reed.
I believe he was at Vibe at the time. I'm telling it all. I had Jermaine Hall. He was writing because I think he was at the Source at the time. Man, Paris, my guy, man, just an incredible dude. He did the sports stuff with Iverson, and then I handled the rest. Oh, Keith Murphy, he wrote in that issue too. So if you could get your hands on this preview issue, I'm sure there's some in circulation. There's some on eBay somewhere. If I go in the stash and I find some, some people that follow us and say they want it, I might just randomly send them, and let you know. But I'll let y'all know if I got some more. I got to send one to Adell first.
I need that joint. I need it.
Oh man, so what you think, man? You think we good for this? Like,
I think we good, man. I think this is gonna set us up to go into the premiere issue. We'll get into that next week. We're gonna have to go and find Lila, man. Lila Arcieri, man. I saw her. I'm like, man, she's active on social, so be able to catch her, man. And that was your cover.
That was my cover. I started. I was out, yo.
Private thing.
remember the story with the car and everything? We gotta talk about that too. In the car.
Yeah, we gotta get into that, man.
I went to that interview. I had on a sweater and Tim's in LA Heat.
LA.
Over at the Mondrian. We did that interview. I don't know what the hell was wrong with me.
On Sunset.
On Sunset. The Riot Hyatt.
Dude, the Hyatt, boy. We used to go down, man. He used to go down. Hyatt.
Little Richard used to live downstairs.
You know what I'm saying? Or they didn't go down to the caboose, you know what I'm saying? Late night.
That was our joint, man. I can't wait for that episode. So
it's gonna go down. And Hugh Hefner.
Oh, the Hugh Hefner story. I gotta tell that. That's all. Woo, that's a second issue.
All of it, man.
Yeah, that's second issue. That's Gabrielle. I gotta tell that one. Man, we was in LA heavy. We was in LA almost every other month.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But I got some good stories for it.
Yeah, we got the Seinfeld stories, man.
Oh, them Seinfeld stories. Seinfeld crew is Adell, Kramer, I'm Jerry, Shanita's Elaine, and Murph is George.
Yes, he is. That's Murph is George.
It actually matches up crazy.
Exactly.
Because we all got, just like the show Seinfeld,
personality, all that.
We all got like little crew joints where it's just me and you, where it's just you and Murph,
right?
Me and Nita, you and Nita.
Oh my god!
So yeah, man, this is every episode gets longer and longer, man. We sorry, people.
Nah, it's about to be we going to drink champ stage, you know. Yeah, so that's why I'm like, man, we definitely going to drink champ stages, man. So
episode 3, we're gonna get into issue number 1 next week. Hopefully we got Lila. Let's see what they do. All right, y'all.
But definitely, expect some guests, man. Expect some guest appearances, man. Some more amazing stories, man. We about to get into the thick of things.
About to get crazy. I know we said that before, but we serious.
Right, we serious. We're about to get into the thick of things.
All right, hey man, one up, baby.
All right, man. Love you, boy.
Love you,
cheers,
boy.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Salute. Ah!